again. Same without that flash.
I think coming here as an away player, it's obviously a tough place to come. You know, it's obviously a very good atmosphere, and you know, I come here with Warrington before I played at Saints, and I think the programme's on one of these. It's the Regal Trophy. I was fortunate to miss that one. It was the 80-0 defeat when actually Brian Johnson's last game at Warrington. It was always a tough place to come, and so we was in the old changing rooms, you know, when I first come here, and like you'd always walk past the Saints teams. I'd always walk past your changing rooms and always make sure that they're shouting stuff and saying stuff as they walk past to make sure you hear it, and so it just created a good atmosphere. And like you said, going down the old tunnel and what have you. But nowadays as well, you know, the atmosphere is fantastic, and you know, that's one thing that we'll certainly miss when, you know, we move to the stadium is the, I'm not saying we won't get it there, but the atmosphere here as a player.
Oh,
you know, to play in the big games in front of your own fans, you know, the likes of Saints, Wigan derbies at Knowsley Road, it doesn't get any better.
Oh, this will be one of the best grounds ever, I reckon. Only about three would compare. Wigan, Headingley. Can't think of anybody else to compare with this.
You were at Swinton, and Swinton used to
hold
the test matches.
We didn't get very big.
Didn't have big
when I was at Swinton, we got decent crowds. We never got. I mean, when you played up Saints, Wigan here, up Saints Boxing Day.
That's right.
I remember Cookie. I was captain Saints this day, and we had what do you call them to soften the ground? Braziers. Yeah. But certainly, where the brazier had been for about a yard round, it was nice and soft, but foot above that. Eric Ashton was Wigan captain, and we both went out and I looked and said, "We're not playing on that, Mr. Cook." Referee, and somebody went up to Cookie, and he come down. Cookie was in the ballroom getting pissed, and he came down. He said, "We can't cancel the game now." He said, "There's 20,000 on already." He said, "In the queue in our Dunradin Lane there, we can't cancel the game." So me and Ashton said, "Aye, okay, we'll go out." And we've been playing about 20 minutes, and I can distinctly remember Billy Bennion checking the ball about 15 yards out up on the Eddington stand, flying 100 sticks, put the ball down, no chance of stopping. Straight into the concrete, stretcher, and the referee just straight away stopped it.
What you just made, Cal, about, you know, we were only here half an hour before the game. You came, got changed, went out and played. There was no warm-up. There was no going seeing the crowd.
You could have a rub down if you wanted, a quick rub down, but that would only take a couple of minutes. There was nothing, there was no oil involved. A bit of Vaseline perhaps, but that was it.
I used to finish work at Triplex, 12 o'clock, me. And I used to drive up, clock off at 12 o'clock, Saturday morning, clock off, pick me, jump on the push bike, drive through Taylor Park. My mother would have a bit of fillet steak and an egg.
An egg.
And then I'd have to walk it from Tatterith Road, up Lugsmore Lane, along Prescott Road and down Dunradin Lane, and just get here about half an hour before, and then strip off and play. Pathetic, really.
I was under the same forward. I was under the same pressure.
He was lucky getting fillet steak. On Good Friday, when they were actually sitting on top of the roof, on top of the pavilion and on top of the Eddington stand, and there's photographs to prove that. I know it sounds odd, and you couldn't imagine it today, but there was just under 30,000 in the crowd, of a crowd inside.
How can they like we've had 34,000 on here, I think, at one time. How can they get 34,000 on there? And it's limited. What's it limited to now?
17 and a half.
17 and a half. Double. I mean, when you get 17 and a half on, it looks full, doesn't it? Yeah. But double it.
People didn't need as much room.
Dangerous.
It was. That's why they changed it. I'll tell you another thing that was dangerous that happened in the olden days, and I thought you were going to refer to it with Billy Benny. They used to have ringside seats inside on the pitch, if you remember. They used to have seats all the way around. And I slid into those one day and hurt my hand as I went into it. Spectators, it was a great view because they were actually on the pitch, they were right beside you. Talking about on the pitch, what about that mini cotton that came on in that...
There was a Swinton.
At Swinton, that was at Swinton in the championship.
Oh, shit somebody on
Shit
ground.
somebody came on. She was Johnny Warlow's landlady.
Ah, she was.
Mrs. Cotton. And she came on, don't it my John, don't it our John. Some big forward did it too.
But going back to the ground though, the reason I think it was such a challenge for the opposition is because obviously you like enjoying playing on your own surface or your own ground. But the crowd, as you talk in ringside seat, the crowd's on top of you. When you're playing, they touch in distance, aren't they? You know.
It was when I was a spectator here, and somebody was having a go at one of the players. It's for the sake of this argument, let's say it was Vinci Corellius, they were having a go at him, and he jumped over the wall and went into the spectator and planted him. Don't you talk to me like that. Now, can you imagine that happening today? So you did get very close to them, yeah. If somebody's having a go at you and you can hear them, if you're on the touchline, especially if you're playing on the wing, you can definitely hear what's going on there. But obviously, very few would go and smack somebody in the crowd.
Remember Doug Green, old button one of their spectators. I'd been serving, I was doing my national service and I was in the uniform. So obviously I couldn't play rugby league, I was playing rugby union. And I hitchhiked to Featherstone. And that was a violent game. And they beat us, just beat us, and they were all shouting insults. And I was in my uniform walking behind Dougie, and Dougie was just walking through the crowd, and Dougie just butted one of them, and carried on, he went down, carried on walking, and straight into the dressing room. And they had to get a recess for us.
She'd made the team like. If you weren't an established player, yeah, you just had to take pot luck with the kit that you got. And I can always remember my first game at home here against Featherstone it was. And I had the biggest pair of shorts on you'd ever seen, because that was the only pair of shorts left. It wasn't as though you had ranges of shorts and all this business. You didn't. You just had whatever was left, sort of thing. The established players, you know, the kit man would probably put them to one side for them, you know. But for the newcomers, it was unbelievable.
Well, what used to happen, Austin, you remember, Peter? We used to have the kit, and rightly so, Walter Jones. Walter Jones was with him. And he used to wrap your kit up. Me being in digs, I literally couldn't take it home. So I had to give it to Walter. But when it was this weather, muddy and all that, obviously it was wet, muddy and all that. But you wrap it up, give it to Walter, and you just put it in the oven type of thing. So when you had it the following session, it was all hard and dirty.
Yeah, your training kit you're on.
Yeah, yeah. And you had to bang the socks on the kit and there was dirt and dust all over the place.